Daily Devotionals for July 17th. Today's scripture reading will be 1 Kings 19, verses 11 through 13. Then he said, "Go out and stand on the mountain before the Lord." And behold, the Lord passed by, and a great strong wind tore in the mountains and broke the rocks in pieces before the Lord. But the Lord was not in the wind. And after the wind, an earthquake, but the Lord was not in the earthquake. And after the earthquake, a fire, but the Lord was not in the fire. And after the fire, a small voice. So it was said, when Elijah heard it, that he wrapped his face in his mantle and went out and stood in the entrance of the cave. Suddenly, a voice came to him and said, "What are you doing here, Elijah?" Well, Elijah had just defeated the 400 prophets of Baal. And think what a mighty man that was to do that. He confronted the prophets and he won. He was victorious. He actually killed all of them. And now he finds out that Jezebel knows about this and she is going to kill him. So he runs and hides in a cave, right? So God uses the earthquake and the fire. He uses the wind, all these different things, but he wasn't in those things. He was in the still small voice. And God will speak to us any way that he wants to, but oftentimes, and I'd say most oftentimes, it is that still small voice within us, okay? Because he lives in us. He is going to use that. Recently, he woke me up. I was somewhere and to do some ministry, and he woke me up that morning. He said, "Bonnie, what are you doing here?" Just like this to Elijah. And you see, he gave me grace to do certain things, but not this one thing in particular. He was in everything else, and I was hearing him clearly, but not this one thing. I believe the Lord was showing me along the way that I didn't need to be there. Was I not listening carefully? He allowed me to do something in my own will. And that morning he said, "Why are you here?" So, I had to answer, "I'm here to do your will, Lord." But it wasn't really his will. But he gave me instruction anyhow. So, God was giving Elijah instruction here as well. We need to be paying attention. And when we do, we won't get off course. Now, was I off course? I would say partially yes, I was. Did I have the grace to be there? Yes and no. I feel I was in God's will, but not his divine will. And it's always most important and the best thing to be in his divine will. Okay? So listen to that still small voice. Be guided and directed. Holy Spirit is there speaking to us all the time. Okay? All right. Be blessed till next time. Don't hide in the cave. Okay?